Hey guys, I thought that I would jump on here and explain a couple of questions about the probation period in the UAE that I have had. So let me just bring them up, pop them down into a little bit of a Word document from some comments on a previous YouTube channel that I did. And there's a couple of things that you really need to be aware of when you are, I guess, signing on or you're just first starting out with your contract in the UAE. And so, first of all, it's really important that you're reading the job description, you're reading your contract, and you're reading everything in the fine print. So, don't leave any stone unturned. Before you either sign it or at least start the employment. So the duration of the probation period is typically between 2 to 3 months, but it can be extended to a maximum of 6 months. It cannot legally exceed 6 months in total. So once you've completed that probation, that's when your employee's total service with the company begins. So just note, probation period is not part of your service. An employee can only be placed on probation once by the employer. So if you're changing roles, even within, the same company, you're moving to a different job title or a different department, you finish your probation period, from those initial 2 to 3 months. So either your employer or your employee, or you yourself as the employee, can terminate your employment contract during the probation, and that was a little bit of a change because you used to be fined if you were to quit during that probation period. There's a minimum written notice of 14 days for both parties if you want to be terminating that contract. And that 14 days notice allows the employee or the employer to prepare adequately for the end of the employment. So it's really important that you're giving notice of 14 days if you do intend to resign. And then after the probation period ends, if the employee continues to work, the time is considered as part of continuous service benefits, like your gratuity, like your leave, all of those eligible, what's the word? Uh, Benefits that you're going to be getting. So if you resign during that probation period and you've got an agreement, you may be required to be bearing the recruitment costs of the current employer may request that reimbursement. So be careful. It used to be quite strict on this, that there may be a little bit of flexibility, which is where you need to be reading the fine print in your contract. So just want to reiterate that. If an employee resigns during probation and has an agreement to bear the costs of the recruitment, the employer can reimburse or request for that reimbursement. Other key points to notice is that sick leave is typically not mandatory during probation, but it can be granted at the employer's discretion, which is usually unpaid. So be aware of that. Employees may use annual leave during probation if approved by the employer, and gratuity pay does not accrue during probation period, which is one of the questions that I had from a previous YouTube video. So just remember on that one. So these rules were effective from 2022. So make sure that you're briefing or keeping yourself updated on the latest UAE labor law. February 2022, these all came out. So make sure that your research is up to date. And I guess just in closing and in summary, the probation system is designed to protect the rights and ensure the clarity in the employment relationship right from the start. So really, really important that you briefing yourself. Probation period can only last for a maximum of 6 months. Most employers have 2 to 3 months of probation, but you can have up to 6 months worth of probation period written in your contract. All right, I hope this has given you some insights. Let me know any other questions. Happy to help you with your job search.